Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Donna Webb, and I serve as the Associate Executive Director for the Georgia Education Articulation Committee. And I'm so pleased to see all the people already in the meeting, and we're letting people in the lobby as quickly as we can to have everyone join us. We have over 300 who have registered to attend, so this should be a great session for us. Clint Hobbs is on the call as well. He serves as our executive director of the Georgia Education Articulation Committee. So he and I work hand in hand to create the Fall Probe Tour. We're excited. This is our 75th anniversary for Probe, and we have over 100 fairs scheduled. So we've been hosting some workshops these last couple of weeks to get the college reps ready for the event and also for the Probe Fair host. Today, this is just an opportunity to help you get prepared and get up, I guess, very important updates, much needed updates, hopefully answer a lot of your questions. We have a variety of speakers. So we're going to have a speaker from the USG, the Technical College System of Georgia, Hal from Georgia Student Finance Commission, and then Erin, who has worn lots of hats and she's been on both sides of the table, and she's going to share a perspective as a high school counselor. We'll try to monitor the chat function as we go along, and we'll hopefully at the end have time for questions. All the speakers will share their contact information, so if you don't get your question answered, you'll know how to reach out directly to them. And this presentation is also being recorded, so it is something that we can share with you after the event as well. So that's just a quick housekeeping. Clint, anything else I need to add before we get started?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, Sarah, we're going to let you start us off with a USG update.
All righty. Thanks so much, Donna. Good morning, everybody. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Move you back over. There we go. All right. Well, good morning again, and I'm excited to be here and share with you a few USG updates. I actually have quite a few, so I'm going to go kind of quickly here, so bear with me, and if you have any questions afterwards, I'll happy to answer those, and happy to take any emails or phone calls as well if you have any questions we just don't get to. All right, so I'm going to start off with some dual enrollment updates. So we have a couple of things to share with you here. First of all, for those of you familiar with our dual enrollment admission requirements document, I'm excited to announce that we now have the document updated, and it shows our dual enrollment admission requirements through summer 2027. So now live, just published a couple of days ago, so we're excited about that. A few things to highlight on the document. First of all, test score requirements. We are continuing the test score waiver, which many of our institutions are taking advantage of. And then the second arrow down there is just highlighting our chart that gives the different ways that dual enrollment students can exempt placement and learning support. So let me just zoom in on that just for a second, just to show you the update we made there. First of all, for students wanting to take English 1101 through dual enrollment, they do need to exempt learning support placement. So this table is giving the different ways that students can do that. So first of all, one of the ways that students can do that is using their high school GPA, along with the completion of 2 required high school curriculum English courses. So the change we made there was actually to increase the GPA from 2.7 to 3.0. That's kind of a behind the scenes change in a way, because the requirement is actually lower than the 3.0, but it was causing some confusion because the 3.0 is what we require for dual enrollment admission. So just to make that clear, we put the 3.0 on our document instead of the lower 2.7. For math, the GPA actually was reduced for the 4 math courses that you see listed there. So we now require a 3.0 for those courses. And then for students interested in college algebra, it remains at 3.2. And then just to point out on this document, again, it lists all the ways that students can exempt learning support placement. So students can use SAT, PSAT, ACT, pre-ACT, as well as AccuPlacer to do that. And then, of course, we list the minimums for the system, so the institutions can have additional requirements. Another change to the document was really just kind of a formatting change, and we decided it was probably wasting a lot of paper by including requirements that apply to every institution and listing those for every single institution. So instead, we've just listed those on page 3 at the bottom there. So we do require a high school transcript showing the students on track for completing high school graduation requirements, as well as the USG's required high school curriculum. And also all of our institutions require parent or guardian consent. And for students completing the funding application, that's how that arrives. And for students taking any courses that are not eligible for funding, that arrives through the self-pay course approval form. So just real quick, this is what the document looks like now. You can see we list the high school GPA requirement for each institution, as well as any age or grade level requirements that they have. If they do require test scores, those are listed. And if they require any additional, have any additional requirements or just wanted us to share with you any other information, that's listed on the document as well. So how do you get to this document? You can come to the main USG webpage for admissions, and you can see the URL there in the bottom left-hand corner. Just click dual enrollment, and then it'll bring you to this page, and all of our documents are listed underneath quick links, which just to zoom in on that, it looks like this. And you can see that dual enrollment admission requirements document is the first item listed underneath admissions. We also have a number of other documents. So you can see we have some resources related to course placement and advisement. And then under other at the bottom there, just to highlight that we have a link to go to see the contact for each dual enrollment person or persons for each of our institutions. So just a quick summary, the institutions may continue to waive test score requirements for dual enrollment admission. The institutions may opt to require test scores. And then we always encourage students, even if they're applying to an institution that doesn't require test scores for dual enrollment, to go ahead and submit them because they can help with course placement. And then just a reminder, if you're working with a dual enrollment student who's interested in attending a USG institution in the 10th grade and they're interested in using funding, we do have the score requirements that are necessary for that. Students do need to be on track for completing the required high school curriculum, as well as high school graduation requirements. And again, parent or guardian consent is required. And then just to quickly summarize course placement, a student may not take dual enrollment math without first successfully completing advanced algebra or algebra 2 or an equivalent course. Dual enrollment students, again, must exempt placement and learning support if they want to take English or math. And then those placement requirements are listed on page 2 of the document. And once again, the institutions can have additional requirements. A quick update on personal finance and economics. So for those of you at a public high school, this will be probably a little bit of old news. But for those of you that are not, I just wanted to mention that all of our institutions just about have Econ 1101 now added to the dual enrollment course directory. As a reminder, DOE changed the standards for 45.061, that personal finance and economics. So our micro and macro no longer aligned to that course. So instead we created Econ 1101, and that is now the only course in the dual enrollment course directory that aligns to 45.061. So we have one institution that's still working on adding Econ 1101 to the dual enrollment course directory. We have 3 institutions that are not planning on offering the course. So that's UGA, Georgia Tech, and Georgia College. And then just a reminder that Econ 2105 and 2106 could still be taken by dual enrollment students, and they can still receive funding, but they'll only be able to receive now going forward, starting actually with summer, can only receive high school elective social science credit. A quick update regarding ELA and dual enrollment. Really, the takeaway on this screen is that at this point, the USG institutions were not planning on aligning any dual enrollment courses to Lit and Comp 3 or 4. What you see on the screen here is all the courses that can count for a 3rd or 4th unit in ELA for high school graduation. So we think there are enough options for students, but we're going to watch this closely. And if there's a need to add alignments to Lit and Comp 3 or 4, we'll definitely revisit that. So you may be wondering then, what are the alignments for English 1101? Well, Advanced Comp is going to be the best alignment for that. And I believe all of our institutions currently have that alignment in the dual enrollment course directory. For English 1102, Advanced Comp also works, and then British Lit is going to be the second course that works in that area. Our institutions also have other courses aligned to English 1101 and 1102, so we're kind of reviewing those and seeing if there are any changes that need to be made. Some quick freshman updates. The current test score waiver continues through summer 2026. As a reminder, that waiver applies to all institutions, but Georgia College, Georgia Tech, and UGA. And then this past spring, our board voted that test optional admissions ends for 4 of our institutions. So in addition to Georgia College, Georgia Tech, and UGA, Augusta University, Georgia Southern University for students interested in Statesboro and Armstrong campuses, and Georgia State University for students interested in Atlanta campus, and Kennesaw State University will no longer be test optional. So students will need to submit test scores, SAT, ACT, for admission to those institutions. Our freshman admission requirements document has been updated to reflect this. The Find Your School tool, for those of you that use that tool with your students, that's now been updated. And the Georgia Match letter algorithm has also been updated for the letters that will go out this fall. A quick update regarding ACT, just real quick. You probably know that ACT is no longer including the science test as a required test, and that score will no longer be part of the composite score. We've got a few questions about whether or not the USG institution will continue to require science, and we will not. So we'll accept the composite score without the science going forward. Real quick about RHSC, you're probably familiar with the RHSC. You can see the requirements there on the screen. They largely align with your high school graduation requirements. But there are a few key differences, and the Staying on Course document's always going to be your best resource to know exactly what's approved for the RHSC. A couple of updates related to this. We have approved Lit and Comp, that entire series, to count. So those are now listed on the Staying on Course document. Dramatic Writing had a course number change from 52 to a 23 number, so the document reflects that change. And then Science, we did approve Essentials of Dental Science to count as a 4th Science. So the Staying on Course document reflects all of these changes. You can find information about freshman admission as well as the Staying on Course document by going back to our main admissions page, clicking on Freshman. And again, all the documents are listed under Quick Links. And there you can see the freshman admission requirements document as well as our Staying on Course document. So again, our updated document for freshmen is also now published and available on our website. Real quick, just a quick degrees pay update for those of you that use this tool with your students. We have added a new tool to the bucket of tools that are available here, which is Explore Degrees and Majors across the USG institutions. Just to quickly show you what it looks like, here's what it looks like. And students can use different filter criteria. You can see the filter criteria on the left to narrow down what they're seeing. And in this example, we're searching for students by associate degree level, health professions, and students can narrow it down by zip code and different distance from their zip code. So based on those criteria that you see entered on the left, we've got the search results on the right. And just to highlight kind of what you see, you can see here Associate of Applied Science and Dental Hygiene at Valdosta State came up in the search results. It lets students know the delivery mode, their campus location, distance from their zip code, and then there's linked program details. If they click there, it actually takes them to the institution website where they can learn more about the specific program at the institution. And we do have a one-pager if you want to share this with your students. It's available actually on our freshman admissions page. And it's right there. We have a version that's best for printing and a version if you want to share it electronically with your students. Georgia Match, of course, we're super excited that the next year of Georgia Match is coming up. I did just want to highlight one change that was made actually last year that we've seen really great results with. And that is when students go in to their dashboard on Georgia Futures and they select claim their spot for one of the institutions, it gives them the option to actually transmit their transcript, their high school transcript, to the institution. And what we're hearing from our admissions directors is this is really making a big difference. So thank you so much. If you've been encouraging your seniors to use this resource and to actually transmit their transcripts through this way. We're hearing that it's actually allowing the institutions to get their transcripts quicker and get admissions decisions to students quicker as well. Just a couple of other really quick updates. You may have heard that our board approved the consolidation of East Georgia State College with Georgia Southern University. The timeline for this is going to depend on SEC COC approval. We're expecting that in January, so hopefully we'll have more information after that vote. And then I just wanted to quickly share one new resource that was provided by Sean Little, who's our AVC for healthcare education. She's been working to make it clear or to provide resources to help students understand their different options if they're interested in nursing. And the hyperlink that you see on the screen there actually goes to a new page that she's created. And there are two options on that page that students can use. One is Find My Health Career, and the other is Find My School. So if students go to Find My Health Career, they can learn all about the different options if they're interested in nursing and can read all about it. They can view the schools that offer the program and so on. And then they can do Find My School, where they can actually see by ASN and BSN the program admission requirements. And just to go back real quick, Sean's email address there. If you have any students that are really interested in nursing or would be interested in talking to Sean about, maybe more information that she could share with students at your school, please feel free to reach out to her. And that is all I've got for you guys this morning. So thank you very much. And with that, I will hand it over to Tyrese for updates from TCSG.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, hopefully you guys can see. Again, my name is Tyrese Echols. I am the Apprenticeship Partnerships and Outreach Coordinator at TCSG. I work in the Office of Workforce Development, and I just wanted to share some of our services and resources that we offer to our students and citizens in the state of Georgia. And so this is just some opportunities and some information, and please feel free to ask any questions that you may have. You can send me an email and I'll be sure to share my contact information. First of all, I just wanted to share our mission and our vision. Our mission is to recruit and grow globally competitive workforce through education, training, and career services for Georgia citizens, employers, and communities. And our vision is to enhance the economic opportunity and prosperity of Georgia citizens, employers, and communities. Our mission is really to fill workforce needs in the state of Georgia. And we want to be able to empower our students with education and skills that will allow them to make an impact on their lives and their families and be able to just have a really solid and a strong career. Also wanted to share about Georgia's high demand career list. The high demand career list identifies careers that are high demand, high wage, and high skill to inform educational pathways for economic success and sustainable growth. When it comes to high demand careers, this is something that when we think about students who are currently in middle school as well as high school right now, the way that the workforce looks will be different than it looks today. And so we want to make sure that we are able to provide our workforce with the skills needed to meet the demands and to hit those talent gaps that we are currently dealing with. We work very closely in partnership with employers throughout the state, and we want to make sure that we know exactly what's needed in industry. So when we look at fields like clean energy and mechatronics, electric vehicles, a lot of the healthcare fields that are changing and evolving, AI, we want to make sure that we provide programs that allow our students and our community to be empowered to be able to meet those needs. A quote from Brian Kemp, Governor Brian Kemp, Georgia's High Demand Career List is our newest tool in that mission, promoting the alignment of education and training programs to the needs of job creators so we can bring even more opportunities to every part of the state of hardworking Georgians. And so this is a link to the high demand career list. This particular list is a list of careers that are connected to grant opportunities and a lot of the programming throughout the technical college system that you will hear us speak about. And so I wanted to share that, and that's something that this is not clickable for you all on this call, but hopefully you can connect with this link. And if you need a way to get to it a little simpler, I'll be happy to send it out to you. So just a little bit about who we are. We are 22 technical colleges, and you can actually go to our website at tcsg.edu, and you can go to the About Us area, and you can find the college that is closest to you in your community by going to your county. And when you do use the drop down box to find your county, it will let you know what the closest college is to you. So we have 88 campuses altogether throughout the state, and there is a technical college within 30 miles of any location in Georgia. One of the things that stands out is that we have a 99% success rate for job placement and college transfers. We have very flexible class schedules, day and evening online courses. We also have eCampus and the GVTC Transient Portal, which is something that is beneficial for students who, if a class is not offered, there may be a few classes away from graduation, and a student is able to find a course, that last course needed to graduate at another campus, and they can do it virtually. And so that's the partnership between our colleges that we offer students who are in that situation. Each of our colleges have, academic advisors that can work and help students with their schedule. And of course, we have financial aid available, Hope Pell, Hope Career Grant. Hope Career Grant is a grant that is connected to the high demand careers that I was referring to earlier. And we have over 600 programs. And again, we have financial aid available, several programs, many of which you guys are already familiar with. The Pell Grant, the Zell Miller Grant, Hope Scholarship, Hope Career Grant. The Hope Career Grant depends on the major that the students have. Post-secondary tuition waiver for foster care. All of our technical colleges are connected to an array of funding opportunities. They're also connected to WIOA funding with the WorkSource area. So if you don't already, make sure that you have a good relationship with your technical college and your community. And there are tons of grants and funding opportunities. Our goal is to help students to walk away with as little to no debt if possible. The in-state tuition is $107 per credit hour, which is considerably affordable. And so we also have institutional scholarships, as well as all of the technical colleges have a foundation that is available for students to apply for foundation assistance. Sarah was able to share a lot of the updates that we have are very similar. But the Georgia Match, I'll touch on just briefly. The Georgia Match admission is offered and guaranteed to all 22 of our technical colleges. So the Georgia Match is a letter that goes out to students and allows them to claim their spot, as Sarah has already shared. And so it's a really great opportunity for students to realize what opportunities are available to them. This is something that I wish was available when I was in high school. So I'm really excited about that. These students are also able to take advantage of the Hope Career Grant. And these are some of the high demand careers and high demand degree programs and certificate diploma programs that we have to offer in the technical system. Okay, and I will touch on this just briefly. I think everyone may be familiar with the dual enrollment, but it does allow high school students to have the opportunity to take advantage of college courses and high school credit at the same time. Our courses are taught at our technical college, career academies, and high schools. And these students are eligible for funding for covered up to 30 hours, and it's primarily during their junior and senior year. Another program I wanted to share regarding dual enrollment is called Accelerated Career. This is a program that you are able to go to the technical college to find specific details about, but I wanted to touch on it because students who do go into the accelerated career, they would be eligible for ACE funding. And so that may be a good opportunity. This is specifically for students who are very clear on what they want to do. They are interested in an accelerated career path, and they are not necessarily interested in the traditional 4-year career path. They may want to go right into a specific career, and it allows them to fast track their education. And so to find more information about that particular program, you can see the link up top to tcsg.edu/accelerated career. And you can again go to tcsg.edu to get more information. Specifically, you can go to I am a high school student, click on that area and you can see more information, and you can also find ways to connect to individuals that can specifically help you with that program. And if you need more information about the program, you can email me as well, and I will make sure that you get connected. For some reason, my screen got a little stuck here. Okay, there we go. I hope you guys can still see.
Yes, we can still see.
Okay, great. Okay, the last thing I wanted to share, and this is the area that I currently work in, is I'm part of the apprenticeship team at TCSG. And so wanted to share this opportunity with you guys, just in case you may not be aware what a registered apprenticeship is. It is a comprehensive workforce development tool that develops minimally skilled individuals into high skilled talent through on-the-job training, technical instruction, and mentorship. So this particular program is a program that we work closely with our colleges as well as employers in the community. Our team works with employers and help them to develop apprenticeship programs. We also work with the technical colleges and because they are sponsors of this program. And there's other parties and third-party groups that we work with funding and in all kinds of ways to make this program a success. I wanted to share the components really quickly. There are 6 components that make it a registered apprenticeship program. This program is a part of the United States Department of Labor. And so these 6 components, paid job, classroom learning, on-the-job training, wage increases, mentorships, industry credential, all are components that make it registered apprenticeship. A lot of times people may confuse this with an internship, but a registered apprenticeship is actually, the apprentices are getting paid and they are learning at the same time. There are many ways that particular that is different ways how it can be laid out. They could front load their education or they could start working first, or they can do them simultaneously. Classes are offered online, sometimes in person, just depending on what the actual program is. Also, an apprenticeship is 1 to 4 years, depending on the occupation. And so, well, yeah, I just wanted to give you the opportunity, just wanted to share a little bit about the apprenticeship program, as well as something that new that the governor has an initiative in terms of focusing on our pre-apprenticeship. This is fairly new for us as a state, but this is an area that we are delving into this year. And so the pre-apprenticeship is a short-term program aimed to create sustainable pathways for in-school and out-of-school youth ages 16 to 24, the registered apprenticeship, and pursue high-demand careers. And so the the focus of this for us is to start with a pre-apprenticeship. There are short-term programs, and that pre-apprenticeship is connected to an apprenticeship. So that will be like a pathway, starting with a pre-apprenticeship, going into an apprenticeship, and then into their career. And so this is specific to type of student that wants to take this pathway. But the goal is really to start with a person who may not have skills yet. And this program is a very successful way of growing and meeting workforce needs for employers and for our community. And so that concludes all that I have for now. So please take note of my email address is tcsg.edu. I'm sorry, not tcsg.edu, teckles@tcsg.edu. If you have any questions about anything that I've shared, I'd be happy to talk with you and connect you with any of the resources that we have at TCSG. Thank you, and I'm going to turn it over to Hal.
Just bear with me, folks. Okay, I'm Hal Wilkinson with Georgia Student Finance Commission, and I'm one of 9 across the state of Georgia, and I cover Northeast Georgia. We're going to talk about GSFC updates. Which includes GA Futures updates. So let's begin with House Bill 192. House Bill 192 is basically a bill that introduces a new college and career plan that replaces the graduation plans. This in case which will include GA Futures creating an account, utilizing Georgia Match, and also providing more comprehensive career guidance. House Bill 68. For the private colleges out there, don't let your eyes deceive you. Under House Bill 68, Hope Scholarship award increases to the equivalent of Zell Miller. So instead of $2,496 per semester, it will be $2,985. It's also increased for half-time and on the quarter system, $1,664 to $2,034. How about for our state universities and colleges? On the award charts and award amounts, Hope will cover 100% tuition, but keep in mind this is based on last year's tuition. So let's break it down. 26 USG schools, there's a discrepancy between prices of 4-year and that have different rates. Your Augusta University's Health and Science Campus, their Somerville campus, Georgia State University, and their Perimeter campus, Albany State 4-year degree and their 2-year degree, University of North Georgia 4-year degree, and also their 2-year degree programs. Continuing on, we have 7 college universities that have raised their tuition. Some have already been stated, but again, Albany State 2-year degree, Atlanta Metropolitan State University, East Georgia College State University, Georgia Highlands College, Georgia State University, Perimeter College, South Georgia State, and University of North Georgia 2-year programs. And also award charts on Hope, Zell Miller, and dual enrollment can be found at gsfc.georgia.org, and award charts are amounts available on GA Futures. Also, we have added 2 more partner schools that will be eligible this fall. Luther Rice College and Seminary, along with South College, and they both will also offer dual enrollment. So this gives students another option. We've talked about Georgia Match, but it will be in its third inaugural year. 45 colleges, public colleges and universities will have a spot for this rise for seniors based on the 11th grade transcript. Georgia Student Finance will be mailing out letters to all Georgia high school students that attend a private or public high school the first week of October. So check your mailbox. And then we have the month of November, Apply to College Month. This gives an opportunity for students to apply for colleges that waive their application fee. Also, it's recognized in March, and so we encourage high schools and organizations to host an event. Applications will open September the 2025. Contact GSC at gsfc.org. And now keep this in mind. Zell Miller Scholarship, along with the 3.7 GPA, the SAT scores will be 1,200 on the SAT, 25 on the ACT. Remember that we can accept the last SAT or ACT before the date of high school graduation. FAFSA updates. The new 26-27 FAFSA will release hopefully October the 1st. Georgia Student Outreach representatives will be available to assist in FAFSA completion dates and with events. Contact us at outreach@gsfc.org. GSFC training for high school professionals. Folks, here it is. The first registration is free but required. Be sure to join our listserv for registration links and GSFC updates. Here are the dates and the locations. October the 7th at the Mercer Atlanta campus. October the 8th and 9th at the Mercer Macon campus. It's from 9 to 4. Box lunch bill will be provided. All sessions have the same agenda. How do you join the GSFC listserv? 2 ways. Send a blank email, no subject, no text or signature, to the link high school listserv or the QR code. Send a blank email from your phone or tablet. And of course, if you're receiving emails from us, you have already registered. Suppose you're brand new, a guidance counselor, you've been given the opportunity, you log into gafutures.org, you select high school profile, and all of a sudden you don't see a high school profile. Contact your institutional admin, your district admin to request permission. If you're a brand new school and you're adding grades from middle school to high school, or just in general, contact program admin at gsfc.org to be added to GSFC listserv for high school professionals. Now, folks, we talk about Hope Scholarship. We talk about Hope Grant. We talk about FAFSA. Let me add another valuable resource. I tell students to get a job. More companies are doing what Chick-fil-A and these hospitals have been doing for years. Quick Trip, 20, 25 hours a week, according to your grades. You can get up to $2,000 per semester on top of your pay. Look at Home Depot. Whether you're a full-time, hourly, part-time, or salary, for $3,000 to $5,000 tuition reimbursement. Burger King, $1,000. And folks, this is just the tip of the iceberg. But if students are going to work, see if those companies not only offer a paycheck, but also if they provide tuition assistance. Finally, I'd like to proudly introduce all my coworkers. We are the K-12 outreach staff, and I would also like to introduce Miss Janita Coleman, who has taken over the South Georgia area. She hails from Albany, Georgia. She worked at Albany State in part of the TRIO program, so she's a wonderful addition that we have. If you need us at an event, contact us or contact outreach at gsfc.org. And now I will turn it over to Miss Erin Chadwick for a high school pro fair.
Good morning. My name is Erin Chadwick, and I am at Calvary Day School. I just wanted to talk briefly this morning about the Probe College Tour. I have been on the college side, so I've been the one standing behind a table. I have been the person that has told my students to go to a college fair. I've been the person that has taken students to a college fair, and I currently host a Probe College Fair. So I've kind of seen the Probe tour from various aspects, and I'm just kind of excited to share some tips with you this morning. You can see from this slide, it says 93 college fairs. And as Donna mentioned, they're already to 100. So since the time this PowerPoint is made, so I think that just shows the impact and the priority that Probe has in regards to providing opportunities for students across the state. You can see the purpose there of the Georgia Education Articulation Committee, who hosts and organizes these fairs. So again, trying to make these accessible to students throughout the state. I think this is probably something that's definitely noteworthy. I think a lot of times, obviously, in our roles, we're trying to do things that provide resources for our students and families, but sometimes we don't think about ourselves as counselors. And so while some of these are benefits to students, they're also benefits to you in your day-to-day career. So for example, yes, our students are able to connect with admission representatives at these fairs, but so are you. And by building these relationships and gathering information, it only makes your job easier because, as I'm sure you're all well aware, you have plenty to do. And so again, being able to create these relationships with the college representatives, maybe they can come in and speak for your school, or do a presentation, or answer questions, or you'll just simply know who to connect a student to if they come to ask you questions. So again, the highlights and the benefits for our students are invaluable, but they're also incredibly helpful for us as professionals too. And sometimes you get free giveaways. Okay. I think the next thing is, right, we have these incredible fairs, this wonderful opportunity for our students throughout the state, but then it's understanding how to get our students there. And these are just some of the ways that schools promote the opportunity to attend a Probe fair and or just share the information if you're hosting a fair. So this is something that is definitely valuable. And I would just encourage you to think outside of the box as it relates to promoting these fairs. Feel free to ask a student as they walk into your office, are you familiar with Probe? Or how did you hear about Probe if they ask you a question about it? Or maybe you're taking a group of students to a fair and you ask, you know, what would be the best way I would get this information to you? Students are very honest and transparent. I know you have a hard time believing that, but sometimes they're my go-to in regards to getting the information out about the fairs. And these, again, are just some examples of ways to do that. The other thing, I know that you all are extremely busy. So sometimes creating a leadership opportunity for your students and allowing them to promote the fair amongst their peers, not only is that a resume builder, but it takes something off of your plate. I've also seen where you can coordinate or collaborate with parent volunteers and allow them to help get the information out, make sure that students are registered. So there are a lot of different ways to get our students to Probe fairs. But I would just say, again, it's so important to take that time initially because the benefits of our students going and being active participants the rewards are high. Okay, so speaking of getting our students to Probe fairs, we first need to have them registered. And this is so incredibly important for a number of reasons. If we get the students there, that's great. And I think that's the first opportunity, the first hurdle presented to them in regards to the opportunity that's ahead of them. So getting them there, but once they're there, we need to make sure that they have a QR code. And there are a number of ways that they can do that. So they can register as an individual. So let's say, for example, you are not hosting a fair, nor are you taking a group of students to a fair. You could present the opportunity for them to register as an individual. And I'll show you the website in after this slide, but they're just simply going to go to Register Probe and sign themselves up. It takes literally minutes to do it. And then they'll have a QR code. That's the important part after they register, that they have access to that QR code. The other part of this is you can register students as a group. Now, you can register students as a group if you're hosting a fair, you're taking students to a fair, or maybe you have just encouraged students to attend a fair on their own. You can still group register all of your students. And then that just takes one barrier away from access for them. And so they will be able to then receive that barcode when you create that group registration, and all they have to do is go into their email and access that QR code to have available at the fair. Again, the important part of having that QR code is that colleges then can connect with the students. And so that will provide them with accurate and up-to-date information if they're connected with the college or university. And it will also, again, assist you, because if they're able to create that relationship with the college or university, then they have someone to go to answer questions. So again, just the importance of making sure that students are registered regardless of how you attend a fair, that they have their QR code and they know how to access the QR code. So that would be a value. Okay, this is gaprobe.org. Everyone has access to this website. Again, from the previous slide I stated, this is how students access student registration. This is how you're able to do group registrations. And I think I registered all of my students, and it maybe took me like 5 minutes to do it. So it's very easy to do. In addition, you'll find counselor resources on this page, the tour schedule. And so that would be important and a value, because you'll find out what fairs are taking place in your area. So perhaps you see that there is a school hosting a college fair in your area, and you were unaware of that. You can always reach out. It will give you the details for the person, the point of contact for that individual fair, and perhaps you could collaborate on bringing your students to that event. That is probably what I have found to be one of the most beneficial parts of Probe, is the opportunities for collaboration. And as a professional, being able to work with your colleagues to share some of the responsibility to provide access and resources to our students as it relates to college. And so if you don't see a fair nearby, you can always reach out on the website. There is a place where you can raise your hand and say that you're interested in hosting a fair. You can always contact someone that is currently hosting a fair. But again, I encourage you to collaborate with your colleagues in your area to get students to a fair, or to let them know about an opportunity that's available to them. Okay, in addition, there are promotional materials, so they try to make this as easy as possible. You'll see a list of all of the colleges that are represented at each fair, so everything is here for you in one space. The other thing I would say is the committee does an incredible job of making sure and meeting you and your needs. So if there is something that you think would be very helpful or a value to promote a fair to students, or an idea, or perhaps you went to a fair and you saw something that you felt like was working really well and students were engaged, or maybe you went to a fair and you think, oh, well, this might be a good idea. Please feel free to communicate that, because that's why and how Probe has been around for 75 years and has been successful, is because of the partnership with counselors like us. And so it's important that we continue to share information with the committee so that they're able to provide these fairs throughout the state for all of our students. Okay, so I think just in takeaway, just make sure that if you're not already planning on taking your students to a fair, hosting a fair, or encouraging your students to go to a fair, that you take a minute to visit gaprobe.org to do that. And on top of that, make sure that your students, when they go, that they're adequately prepared and have access to their QR code. Okay, I think that's all of the fun that I have for you today. Thanks for listening.
Yes, thank you, Erin, and thanks to all the presenters, not only for sharing this really important information with us this morning, but they all also serve on the Georgia Education Articulation Committee. And so that is an active committee that's helps in lots of ways. So I appreciate their help this morning. And I thank the counselors for being a part of this. I know this is the beginning of school and lots of things to do. And this is one more meeting, but I'm glad that you made this meeting a priority. I hope the information was very helpful for you. You've got the contact information if you have specific questions. We've tried to monitor the chat and the Q&A, and so we've been addressing those things. This will be recording will be provided for you, so you will have that. And I believe we'll be able to share all the presentations as well. So we can open it up to questions if we have additional questions or comments, anything the speakers wish they'd have said, but they didn't say. We have a few minutes. We can do that if we need to.
Can we try to upload, like, if you had a presentation, try to attach it to the group chat? Probably be the easiest way to share those.
Yes, and a special thanks to Zach. He is our tech guru. Without him, I don't know how we would get any of these meetings accomplished. Clint, while they're doing that, do you have any anything that we missed that we needed to share? I know that I talked about we have over 100 probe fairs, probably over 150 colleges will be represented from a variety of states. So we're looking forward to really a robust schedule this year.
Nothing really more to add. Just want to thank all of the counselors for coming out, taking some time out of their busy day to participate in this workshop. I also want to thank the presenters. Great job, all of you. Thanks so much for your dedication to Probe and the Georgia Education Articulation Committee, and to the high school counselors and the work that they do in our state.
I see Terry's shared her presentation. Anyone else with a presentation able to share theirs in the chat?
Looks like you may need to share it as a link. That might be the easiest way to get it there.
If you're unable to share it, maybe send it to me and I can try to attach it to the recording email that's sent to y'all after the meeting concludes. See, Erin posted hers.
Right,
They will also be available when we post the recording on our YouTube channel.
And I see Lori asked about the Vidalia Fair. If you'll contact the host, I know in the past they've been amenable to other schools attending. So if you will just contact the host and see if you can attend the Vidalia Fair. If you have any problems, let me know, and I'll be glad to help reach out as well. Okay, Zach, and if we can attach the other presentations, we can do it.
Yeah.
We can do it that way.
Yeah, we'll just do that.
Yeah, well, thanks everyone for your time. Let us know if you have any questions or concerns throughout the fall, and we look forward to seeing you and your students at a probe fair. Thank you.
Thank you all.